ABC Sports presents the Gator Bowl, featuring the Orange Men of Syracuse University against the University of Tennessee Volunteers. Brought to you by True Filter Cigarettes, with or without menthol. Shouldn't your brand be true? By State Farm Mutual, the world's largest car insurance company. Agents everywhere to help you when you need it.
And by Conoco, ride the hot one. Conoco, the hottest brand going.
From Jacksonville, Florida, it's the 22nd annual Gator Bowl football game. And from the Goodyear blimp, hovering above the city of Jacksonville, you see the Coliseum, the parking lots, and of course the Gator Bowl in the foreground. In the background, the city of Jacksonville, which today has temperatures of 64 degrees for this 22nd annual football classic between the Volunteers of Tennessee and the Orange Men of Syracuse, the pride of the East. More than 60,000 fans will jam their way in here today to watch this game, the first meeting between Tennessee and Syracuse in football history. And there you see the crowd that's come here today to watch this game. More than 17,000 fans have come from Tennessee to watch the Volunteers perform, and nearly 5,000 rooters from Syracuse are here. The Volunteer band in the background here, coming onto the field in the pregame ceremony. I'm Bill Fleming, speaking for Chris Schenkel and Bud Wilkinson and all of us here at ABC Sports. We'd like to wish you a very happy new year. A little less than 12 hours are left of this year, 1966, in this time zone. It's been a wonderful sports year, and we're very happy that you can celebrate the waning hours of 66 with us here this afternoon at the Gator Bowl. Now let's join the University of Tennessee Volunteer Band on the field in their final pregame numbers. We'll be back with more pregame activity at the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida in just a moment. There you see the stadium from the blimp with the combined bands of Tennessee and Syracuse. We're now having the invocation, and it will be followed by our national anthem.
Let us yearn for all men and nations to come to thy ways of peace, harmony, and concord. We call upon thee to bless our every honorable endeavor, whether on the athletic field, in the arenas of business and industry, or in our civic, domestic, and religious life. And, O God, if thou dost bless us, then lead us to bless thee with clean lips, warm hearts, and helping hands. For we come to thee in the name of him whom we call Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Amen.
the combined bands of Syracuse and Tennessee, and of course you'll be hearing more from them at halftime. And now let's go to our ABC telecast booth here for the Gator Bowl football game, and Chris Schenkel and Bud Wilkinson.
I welcome you to this exciting Gator Bowl where we have two well-manned, physically fit football teams ready to go. Syracuse and Tennessee, Bud.
It's going to be a great game from the contrasted styles, Chris. Syracuse is a team that uses an unusual offense. They play from an unbalanced line. That means 2 men on one side of the center, 4 on the other. They have the classic attack that all teams strive for, a strong inside, tough-running fullback, and a great outside runner in Floyd Little, their All-American. They pass just enough to keep the defensive secondary loosened up. They'll be going, of course, against a Tennessee defense that will line up in a 5-2 front using a monster man, and they'll stunt a great deal from it.
And just to give you an idea of how great Tennessee is, they lost 3 games by a mere 11 points, losing by 1 point to third-ranked Alabama. Syracuse has a potent attack, a 1-2 punch of Zonka and Little, and let's take a look at Syracuse right now.
This is the basic single-wing sweep with Floyd Little getting fine blocking, turning the corner, and then using that great speed and tremendous elusiveness to pick up a 25-yard gain.
That was one of their 8 straight victories, this against Penn State.
This is Zonka hitting straight ahead. He picks up 5-6 yards on those shots and sets up the wide outside plays. And this is the quarterback, Quesada, rolling out on the option to pass or run and cutting back into the end zone for a touchdown against Penn State.
They have scored touchdowns in a variety of ways. They have scored a total of 37. Tennessee has allowed only 9 points average per game by their opponents, while Syracuse has averaged 25 points scoring, so this makes it a perfect match, and the Tennessee attack is one that you'll enjoy watching today.
Tennessee is a light, quick football team. They play from a slot formation, basically, and they feature the passing of Dewey Warren, who is one of the best throwers in college football. Let's take a look at him against Georgia Tech. He'll be dropping back here in a rollout pass and throwing complete to Mills, the split end on the sideline, a possession-type pass which has worked well for the Volunteers all year. Again, this time, the pass is complete to Chadwick. Another first down for Tennessee. They use their running attack sparingly, but when they do use it, it's very effective because the defense is dropped back, and they find the holes, as Pickens did that time, to pick up another first down against Tech. Tennessee will put the ball in the air approximately 35 times today, and the story of the game, I believe, will be the effectiveness of the Syracuse pass defense in stopping Warren, and then the effectiveness of the Tennessee line and linebackers in stopping the 1-2 punch of Floyd Little and Zonka.
Standing room crowd only here at the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida. The temperature about 60 degrees. It is overcast. There is some possibility of light showers sometime later on in the afternoon, but the field is in tip-top shape. For those of you that have color can tell that it is mighty green, thanks to the rye that is coming through some of the grass that is passed by the wayside here in the winter, although it seems more like springtime in Jacksonville, Florida today. From our Goodyear blimp, you see the size of the Gator Bowl, which alternate years seemingly is increased in size. Last year with a record crowd of over 61,000 fans, they saw Georgia Tech go against Texas Tech in one of the most exciting games I've had the pleasure of reporting on. And in fact, in the last 4 or 5 years here in the Gator Bowl, the winning team has scored more than 30 points. So now let's go down to the field, and here's Bill Fleming.
And here are the starting lineups for Syracuse. Defensive end, number 82 from Phillipsburg, New Jersey, Herb Stecker. Middle guard, number 64 from Niles, Ohio, John Kraft. Defensive end, number 86 from Fairfield, New Jersey, Bill Wasilius. Linebacker, number 52 from Worcester, Massachusetts, Paul Nuttleblad. Linebacker, number 16 from Walton, New York, Terry Rowe. Offensive end, number 83 from Dover, New Hampshire, Dick Town. Offensive guard, number 65 from Bristol, Connecticut, Bill Benesick. Offensive tackle, number 78, Clarence Center, New York, Gary Bugenhagen. At center, number 51 from Maximo, Ohio, Tom Rosio. Offensive tackle, number 71 from Niagara Falls, New York, Harris Winkie. At fullback, number 39 from Stowe, Ohio, Larry Zonka. And the tailback, number 44 from New Haven, Connecticut, captain of the Syracuse team, Floyd Little. The head coach of the Orange Men, Ben Schwartzwalder. Good luck.
Thanks, Bill.
It's going to be a game.
We hope.
And now for the Volunteers from the University of Tennessee. Offensive end, number 85 from Elizabethtown, Tennessee, Johnny Mills. Offensive end, number 84 from Nashville, Tennessee, Austin Denny. Offensive tackle, number 64 from Elizabethtown, Kentucky, Terry Bird. Defensive tackle, number 71 from Darlington, South Carolina, Derek Weatherford. Middle guard, number 61 from College Grove, Tennessee, Bobby Morrell. Linebacker, number 55 from Sarasota, Florida, Doug Archibald. Linebacker, number 50 from Columbus, Ohio, Paul Newmont. At center, number 54 from Cleveland, Ohio, Bob Johnson. At quarterback, number 16 from Savannah, Georgia, Dewey Warren. At wingback, number 22 from Montgomery, Alabama, Richmond Flowers. At tailback, number 12 from Memphis, Tennessee, Charlie Fulton. At fullback, number 34 from Knoxville, Tennessee, Richard Pickens. And the head coach of Tennessee, Doug Dickey. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Those will line up. Now back to our ABC television booth.
We'll be back with the opening kickoff between Syracuse and Tennessee at the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida. And now we return to our studios for this message. The referee, Pat McHugh, has just indicated that Tennessee has won the toss. The Volunteers have elected to receive. As we look at the co-captains of Tennessee, number 50, Paul Newmoff, and number 84, Austin Denny, while Floyd Little and Norm Stecker are on the far side, 44 and 82. Shake of the hand as the Queen, the Gator Bowl Queen and her court, LeBron, and the other 5 officials. And here on what seems to be a perfect day for the start of this game, which is only moments away, there is Miss Teat, the Gator Bowl Queen. Isn't she adorable? Syracuse University, losing its first 2 games to Baylor and UCLA and then winning 8 straight, averaging 25 points a game, are in the Gator Bowl today against Tennessee with a record of 7-3, but it has to be the best 7-3 football team ever in the history of this country.
If you go over their 3 losses, you recognize that they played one of the toughest schedules in the country. Could very easily have won the 3 games that they lost and be going into this game undefeated. It's a team that had Alabama, the defending national champions, on the ropes most of the time. They lost 11-10 by missing a field goal from the 4-yard line with 10 seconds remaining in that game.
And the Tennessee defense allowed only 10 touchdowns by its 10 opponents this year, so you can see just how potent they are, an average of about 8.7 points a game, as Dick Murphy now tees up the football on the 40, looking for the tee, comes back toward the center of the field, and we have Bill Baker deep. There you're looking at number 22, Richmond Flowers, is a tremendous speedster, a sophomore, son of the Attorney General of the state of Alabama. We'll tell you more about him later. The kickoff man for Syracuse, Dick Murphy, limbering up that leg, waiting for the official's word, and he meets the ball, and it's low. A wobbly kick coming to the near side. Taken by number 84, Austin Denny, the offensive end. The ball is lost. Austin Denny, on a short kick, fumbles, and it was Tony Kayaski that recovered the ball for Syracuse, and the Orangemen from Syracuse, New York, get the first break of the game, and it means, Bud, that they have the ball 1st and 10 at the Tennessee 38.
They're a team that likes to grind it out, picking up a steady succession of first downs, and they're in a position now where they will not have to kick the ball on 4th down, giving them one more down to sustain their offense.
In the backfield in the eye, Casado the quarterback, Zonka and Little directly behind him. Alley is the wingback to the far side, Ole Allen. And big Larry Zonka, the junior from Stowe, Ohio, who gained 1,012 yards this year, is stopped by Harris Winke, and Gary Bugenhagen threw the block that made the hole, allowing him to pick up 7 yards to the Tennessee 31, where we have a 2nd down and 3. Harold Stansel made the stop for the Tennessee defense.
Allen now, Ole Allen is in the backfield along with the I men, Zonka and Little. Now he goes in motion. Posada to Little. Little, who likes to go outside, gains about 2 yards on the play. The cornerback on the left side, Harold Stansel, the senior from Knoxville, Tennessee, stops Little at the 29, so it'll be a 3rd down and 1.
Syracuse has not used the man in motion frequently during the season, but they plan to use it quite a bit this afternoon to put pressure on the Tennessee monster man. The Tennessee monster man will be lined up in the secondary and then swing to the side of the wingback. You can see him now as he moves over.
We look at Rick Casada from Tonawanda, New York. In motion is Little. And the fullback may have been denied the 1st down. A stubborn Tennessee defense led by Stansel again.
I can't read his number.
And Dave Murphy come in there at the 29 for no gain, and it is a 4th down and 1.
And this is that important 4th down situation on the field where, had they not recovered the fumble deep in the Tennessee territory, they would have to be punting here, but with 4th down, they'll go for the 1st down.
That was Allen talking to his head coach, Ben Schwartzwalder. So it's a 4th down and 1 for Syracuse in the white jerseys. Strong side to the near side. And trying for the 1st down is Zonka. And the Tennessee defense has held.
On the last 2 downs, Tennessee jumped into a 7-diamond pinching goal line defense, expecting Zonka to have the ball. They were correct both times. However, I believe the next time we get that situation, you'll see the fake to Zonka and the pitch back to Little.
Paul Newmoff, the All-American linebacker, along with right tackle Dick Williams, were just superb on holding Syracuse on downs. So now Tennessee, the Volunteers, take over with a 1st and 10 at their own 29. The quarterback is a scrambler, Dewey Warren, number 16. Flowers, Fulton, and Pickens in the backfield. That is Fulton in motion. Number 34, Pickens, the fullback, carries on the play. Steve Zagalia, number 35, stopped number 34, who has a little trouble with that orange jersey, having had it ripped. Dick Pickens, a sophomore from Knoxville, Tennessee, carried and moved the ball out to the 33, a gain of 4. So it'll be 2nd down and 6, no score in the game.
The Tennessee strategy will be to match speed of their halfbacks against the Syracuse linebackers from the 5-3 defense.
Again, Dick Pickens, the fullback, is asked to carry the ball against the huge front wall of Syracuse. Dennis Fitzgibbons led the defensive work by Syracuse, along with Herb Stecker, the co-captain. There is the Syracuse defense. Stecker is number 82. Number 72 right next to him up front is Dennis Fitzgibbons. Steve Zagalia, one of the linebackers now, getting into position as we have a 3rd and 6 for Tennessee at their own 33. A gain of 2. It's a 4th down and 4 coming up. Again, Stecker, 82, and Fitzgibbons, 72, stopped Pickens, the fullback, who carried the ball for Tennessee on all 3 plays. So it's a 4th down, and now you're going to get a look at one of the nation's top punters in Ron Whitby, who's averaging 43.8, and there is a great return artist, Floyd Little. Here is Whitby, who played basketball last night in New Orleans for Tennessee. A beautiful kick. Stecker ran into the kicker, however, as Little, his teammate, gets it at the 20. Comes out to the 25. A marker is down in the area of Ron Whitby. Herb Stecker may have roughed the punter. Let's see what the call will be. The referee now, Pat McHugh, who is assisted on the field by the linesman Robert Gaston, the back judge Jimmy Cole, the umpire Foster Gross, the field judge Steve Younger, and the electric clock operator Dick Pace. And here is the indication now. Ron Whitby sailed one about 47 yards, but he was run into by Stecker, Bud.
The ball was in the air about 5.5 counts. Anytime that the kicker can keep the ball in the air for 4.5 seconds, you do get adequate coverage. Whitby not only got great distance on the punt, but great height, which is why it was covered so well.
So instead of giving up the ball, Tennessee, who had the ball at its own 35 as a result of the penalty, are now at midfield with a 1st down. No score. Dewey Warren at quarterback. Flowers to the near side. And there goes Charlie Fulton. Number 12, the number 1 rusher for Tennessee this year. He's from Memphis. Paul Nettelblatt stopped him as we look at the Tennessee offense. You see the men up front: Denny, Boynton, Rosenfelder, Bob Johnson, the All-American center, Gamage, Bird, Mills, and in the backfield, Dewey Warren, the quarterback, Richmond Flowers, Charlie Fulton, and Dick Pickens. So with the ball now at the 43, a gain of 7, it's 2nd and 3. And the Volunteers, who are a passing team, as you know, are sticking to the ground. Charlie Fulton, number 12, stopped by Herb Stecker and Fitzgibbons.
The Syracuse linebackers from the 5-3 are widening out to be able to cover the flats. That's leaving a little running room inside, which Tennessee is trying to take advantage of.
Charlie Fulton, number 12, who injured a groin muscle in practice, may have re-injured it now as Walter Chadwick takes his place, number 20 in the Tennessee lineup. Less than a yard for the first down. There is Chadwick trying for the first down. It's going to be awfully close. John Kroc. First down, Tennessee. No score in the ball game. We have 9 minutes and 5 seconds left in the first quarter. We're at the Gator Bowl.
On defense, Syracuse is swinging their 2 defensive halfbacks, George and Kyaski. Kyaski will always go to the side of the flanker back. You can see him now, the 2 men crossing there in the secondary. Kyaski coming to the bottom of your screen, George going to the top.
Mills now is split to the far side. And there's the pass to him. Johnny Mills of Tennessee, number 85, the number 1 receiver, who caught 48 passes this year and scored 4 touchdowns, gets the first pass, and Tennessee is on the move as we look at it again in slow motion.
Mills starting down the field here. This is their block pass. Just 1 receiver out, and if he's open immediately, they throw to him as they did here. A perfect throw, a great catch by Mills, and he makes a great move. The pivot almost carried him past George, but the tackle was made as he broke past him into the clear.
Dewey Warren is 1 for 1. They have a 2nd down and 1. Just missed the first down. And the quarterback that his teammates nicknamed the Swamp Rat gets the first down for the Volunteers. Dennis Fitzgibbons making the stop for Syracuse along with the middle guard, John Kroc. So Tennessee now started this drive at its own 29. On 4th down, punted from its own 35. A roughing the kicker penalty gave them a first down in midfield, and now they have advanced to the 26 of Syracuse. No score. Mills is to the near side. Flowers is opposite. There's Mills again. Tom George covering on the play. Number 26 along with Terry Rowe of Syracuse, number 16. So it'll be a 2nd down and 10 now. No score, 7:29 left in the first quarter.
The Tennessee record, you can see, 7 wins, 3 losses. The Syracuse linebackers are also swinging. Nettelblatt will always go to the side of the flanker back, and Rowe will come to the opposite side. They believe Nettelblatt has a little bit more speed, which is why they're making that move. He's at the bottom of the screen this time.
Mills to the far side. Warren swinging out that way. Mills is stopping. There's the pass. And it's complete at the 15-yard line. And let's see if it's a first down. Yes, it is. Another Tennessee first down, and it's inside the 15 of Syracuse as we watch once more videotape ABC slow motion.
Mills starting down the field here. This time he was covered close, and they ran the deep cut. Then he turned and stopped back to the inside. George came up. The pattern was run so well, he was a little late getting there, and it was a first down for Tennessee.
4 first downs in this drive. Herb Stecker, number 82 in the white jersey, covered number 84, Austin Denny, the senior from Nashville, Tennessee, who could not get to the pass thrown by Dewey Warren. Paul Nettelblatt caused it to be inaccurate with a tremendous rush on the quarterback. So it'll be a 2nd down and 10 here at the Gator Bowl.
Syracuse will alternate their coverage by having the end fall off, as Stecker did that time, and the linebacker shoot. Other times, the linebacker will cover the flat, and the end will force the play.
Mills to the near side. Flowers is opposite. 2nd down and 10. That was Johnny Mills. Bill Wasilius hit the quarterback, Dewey Warren, as he threw the ball toward number 85, John Mills from Elizabethtown, Tennessee. You can see just how close Mills came to getting the pass as he had beaten the defender, Tom George.
Beautiful timing, beautiful position.
We have a penalty now as we look at the back of Coach Ben Schwartzwalder, having completed 18 years as head coach at Syracuse. What a record. 7 bowl games as we have a penalty stepped off against the Volunteers. And it brings them back out to the 29-yard line, a 15-yard penalty against them. Offensive holding as Flowers comes to the near side. Mills is opposite. 3rd down and 25. Or rather, 2nd and 25. Austin Denny, who caught 21 passes this year, caught that one from Dewey Warren as Paul Nettelblatt stopped him right at the 19-yard line, a gain of 10. It'll be 3rd down and 15.
Austin Denny, the tight end, does not have the opportunity to get out as quickly as a split end, but strangely, he's the leading scorer for Tennessee. He's caught 7 touchdown passes this year.
There is the Tennessee coaching staff. Slot formation. Richmond Flowers, and the ball takes off on Dewey Warren as Herb Stecker, number 82, put a big rush along with Nettelblatt again for Syracuse. And they are really giving Warren the business. So for the Volunteers, who started this drive at their own 29, they will have a 4th down and 15. They have a field goal kicker named Gary Wright from Heflin, Alabama. He's kicked 4 of 7 this year. Warren will hold. The kick will come from the 26. It's 36 yards in length. And it's good. It's timeout here at the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida, where the score is Tennessee 3, Syracuse nothing. Gators in the end zones of the Gator Bowl. They are painted there and very effectively. For this, the 22nd Gator Bowl game. A capacity crowd, as you see, as our ABC camera is up on the blimp. And here is Floyd Little, back in triple safety with Tom Coughlin and Ole Allen, as the man that just kicked a 36-yard field goal, Gary Wright for Tennessee, will kick off. Tennessee leads 3-0. Floyd Little at the 3, coming out to the 5, the 10, 15. Look out. And the pursuit of the men in the orange jerseys from Tennessee, very evident as they stop Little at the 16. Cliff Ensley led the charge.
9 Tennessee men were within 3 yards of Little when the tackle was made. That's the type of pursuit that you always strive to get. The other 2 men, of course, were playing their safety positions about 10 yards behind where the ball was on either side of the field.
With Tennessee dominating the ball this far in the first quarter, we have about 6 minutes to go, and they lead 3-0. Here's Rick Casada for Syracuse now. In the eye, the unbalanced line, strong side to the near side. Zonka. Number 50 is All-American Paul Newmoff, joined by Dick Williams, the sophomore tackle.
The last play is evident of what the story of the game is going to be, the power of Syracuse against the quickness of Tennessee. If you watch their defensive linemen, you'll notice that they slant, they move laterally one way or the other as the ball is snapped to try to break down the blocking assignments. The linebackers compensate for the slant.
Casada, Zonka, Little, and Allen in the backfield. Jack Jones and Schreck are the ends. Allen to the far side as a wingback, 2nd and 8. And that was the wingback, scissoring back. Ole Allen may have gotten a yard or 2. He got 2 yards out to the 20, so it'll be a 3rd down and 6 as you look at the Syracuse offensive line. Schreck, Winky, Johnson, Rosia, Benesick, and Bugenhagen. Dick Town, Casada, Allen, Little, and Zonka. Dick Town now is back in the lineup, replacing Jack Jones, who spelled him for a play. It is a Third down and 6. Tennessee leads 3-0. Syracuse with the ball. Allen to the far side as a wingback, number 19. Here's Floyd Little, the All-American. There is the man that broke Jimmy Brown and the late Ernie Davis's records, a man that scored 15 touchdowns this year, and he has a ripped white Syracuse jersey as we watch the play again.
You see the quick toss here, out to Little, the lineman pulling ahead of him. He fakes it upfield and then simply turns on the speed to be out around Showalter. You get a hand on him, but he turned it down the field, and then the pursuit knocked him out of bounds, but not until he had picked up the first down.
And he gained 15 yards on the play. And that's the initial first down for the Orange Men from Syracuse as we have a timeout here at the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida. The score, Tennessee 3, Syracuse nothing. Muhammad Ali and Ernie Terrell will be on Wide World of Sports later this afternoon. With that gala music, it's the beginning of hopefully a happy holiday weekend, Bud, here at the Gator Bowl.
It'd be interesting, I believe, to watch the monster man of the Tennessee defense, Dave Murphy, number 25, move with the flanker back of Syracuse. The last play set up to Little was run away from the monster. He's at the top of the screen now in the end position.
All right, Bud. Little goes in motion. First down. And look at Larry Zonka, 225-pound fullback, a junior. Tom Rosia was the man that threw the block. He is the center in the unbalanced line for Syracuse, and he allowed Zonka to pop for 13 yards out to the Syracuse 48 for the second first down by the Orangemen. Bill Young finally stopped Zonka. Ole Allen is the wingback to the far side. A busted play.
He checked signals that time, and the rest of the offensive team must have missed the signal. It looked to me like he was looking for a quick pass receiver, but the end that he was going to throw to perhaps did not hear the signal as it was checked at the line of scrimmage. This time, as Tennessee breaks the defensive huddle, you'll see 5 linemen, the 2 linebackers, and then number 25, Murphy. There he is, and now as Syracuse breaks the huddle, he'll swing one way or the other.
Tom Coughlin
We jumped into a 7-1 defense here, which is the goal line defense to stop the Syracuse running.
Floyd Little carried the ball, and he is in Tennessee territory, and this is the first time that Syracuse has been there with 2 minutes, 59 seconds remaining in the first quarter, and Tennessee leading by a score of 3-0. The advance is to the 43 of Tennessee, a gain of 7, so it'll be third down and a little more than 1.
The first time Syracuse had the ball, Tennessee jumped into that 7-1 defense on 3rd and 4th down and stopped them cold both times. However, that last play broke for good yardage against the 7-1. It's the same defense this time.
Ole Allen to the far side, 3rd and 1. All-American Floyd Little goes outside, which is his forte. And let's watch that move and that good straight arm.
Just a simple off-tackle play. He cuts to the outside, and watch him turn on the afterburner. The Tennessee halfback has perfect defensive position, but he simply doesn't have speed enough to stay with Little. Simply outran into the outside. The safety man, Bill Young, comes over and just barely gets a hand on him. He tripped him up as he was in the clear. Syracuse ball, first down.
Floyd Little trying to cut back. Has his footing, he loses it, and he is stopped near the line of scrimmage for no gain as Paul Newmoff and Bobby Morrell were there to make sure that he got no farther into Tennessee territory. So now, here at the Gator Bowl, it's a 2nd down and 10. At the 30 of Tennessee, Syracuse with the ball. Tennessee leads 3-0 with 1:20 remaining in the first quarter. Jack Jones is back in the lineup for Syracuse, replacing Dick Town at end. There you see Pat McHugh, the referee, quickly toss his signal flag, indicating undoubtedly too much time in the huddle. Delay of the game. There's the signal. So that brings them back to approximately the 35. The down remains the same. It'll be 2nd and 15 now as Allen leaves the lineup, and Tom Coughlin comes in for Syracuse.
That close-up of the ball a moment ago reminded me that Syracuse uses the Wilson ball on offense, Tennessee the Spalding football. They change as the ball changes hands.
Okay, Bud, it's time out here at the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida. The score is Tennessee 3, Syracuse nothing. We have haze now beginning to envelop the Jacksonville, Florida area coming off the St. Johns River as we move across the Coliseum and show you a Goodyear blimp view of the Gator Bowl. And inside, Syracuse now has a 2nd down and 15 at the Tennessee 35. Tennessee leads 3-0. Coughlin in motion. Casada going to the air. Floyd Little. And Little gets about 6 yards on the play, which means there'll be a 3rd down and about 9 coming up as Little lost his helmet on the play. This young fella from New Haven, Connecticut, a senior. At 12 of the 30 varsity games that he's played in, he has gained over 100 yards. 15 touchdowns this year. Is that disbelief or happiness? Third down and 9 now. Casada. That was Ole Allen, the wingback, out on a pattern covered by Harold Stansel. Number 19, as we look at 83, is Dick Town, one of the Syracuse ends, as the Syracuse offensive team comes back near the 28-yard line, where it will be a 4th down and 9. And coming into the ball game now is Dick Murphy. Dick Murphy. Rick Casada will hold. The kick from the 35 plus the 10 yards of the end zone. It's a 45-yard kick. Very little wind. No good. It's short. Jerry Smith turning the corner. And Tennessee fans here in the Gator Bowl, numbering about 18,000, are happy after a missed 45-yard field goal. Jerry Smith brings it back. And he's stopped on the play by Dick Town, and that means Tennessee will have the ball at its own 34.
One of the toughest plays in football is to rush a place kick and then form the kick return. That time, as you noticed, Tennessee rushed the kick well, then formed the wall at the top of the screen for a kickoff for field goal return that almost broke for the touchdown.
From the 34, Dewey Warren. There is Walter Chadwick, who early in the game replaced the injured Charlie Fulton. Paul Nettelblatt and Tony Kayaski made the play for Syracuse. So it's going to be a 2nd down and 5 at the 39. And Tennessee with the ball, and it appears the time has run out in the initial period of the Gator Bowl. That's the end of the first quarter here at the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida, where the score is Tennessee 3, Syracuse nothing. As we await the start of the 2nd quarter and Tennessee leading 3-0, for those of you that joined us late, this is the Gator Bowl, the 22nd annual. Gary Wright of Tennessee kicked a 36-yard field goal for the Volunteers at 6 minutes and 26 seconds of the first period. Syracuse tried a 45-yarder with 28 seconds remaining in the first, but missed. And here is Tennessee now with a 2nd and 5 from its own 39. Dewey Warren. And Walter Chadwick from Decatur, Georgia, a junior. Tailback carried on the play as Paul Nettelblatt and Johnny Kroc, the middle guard, make the stop for Syracuse. The advance is to the 43, a gain of 4. So for Tennessee, it's 3rd down and 1. A capacity crowd, standing room only here at the Gator Bowl. 3rd and 1 for Tennessee. Slot formation. Beautiful defensive play. by Tony Kayaski, whose brother played at West Point, you may remember, some time ago. There is number 45, sophomore Tony Kayaski from Ansonia, Connecticut, who just knocked the pins out from under Walter Chadwick. And the ball is at the 43, a 3-yard loss, so it'll be a 4th down and 4. Floyd Little is going deep, and Ron Whitby will punt. He sails one. Floyd Little looking at it at the 19-yard line. He is hemmed in. A 40-yard punt with good coverage as Bob Johnson makes the stop. Elliot Gamage also in on the play as we have a timeout here at the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida, where the score is Tennessee 3, Syracuse nothing. Here at the Gator Bowl, you're looking at the record of Syracuse, and as you see, they lost their first 2, Baylor and UCLA, but then won 8 straight in convincing fashion. They now have the ball again following a 40-yard Whitby punt. They have it at their own 21 with a 1st and 10 with Tennessee in the lead 3-0. Allen in motion. Gives you an idea of how powerful Larry Zonka is, who brings it across the 30. Harris Winke through the block that made the hole for Zonka, number 39, who scored 7 touchdowns this year and gained 1,012 yards.
On the play that Zonka just ran, the Syracuse linemen pick up the man opposite them, regardless of which way he's slanting. The linebacker moved out to cover the man in motion, which opened up the play for the big gain of 10 yards.
The 4th first down for Syracuse. A beautiful sweep by the wingback, Ole Allen, a sophomore from Cranbury, New Jersey. Floyd Little and Rick Casada blocked effectively as number 19, Allen, leaves the lineup. But before, as you saw, he moved the ball out to his own 41, about an 8-yard gain, so it'll be 2nd down and 2 for Syracuse as they trail 3-0. That was Floyd Little from a wide set formation in the backfield that tried to get the 1st down, and he gets it for Syracuse. 1st and 10. Floyd Little, number 44, 5'11", 195 pounds, who in his college career, which ends today, he carried the ball 601 times. On the ground, gained 2,700 yards. He has 46 career touchdowns or 278 points. Allen to the near side from the 43 of Syracuse. Floyd Little again. Thus far, Little has caught 1 pass, one of the 2 thrown by Casada, and in 7 carries, he has gained 44 yards.
Jerry Glover has replaced Dave Murphy. He's the regular monster man for Tennessee. He injured an ankle in practice, but it appears to not have slowed him up too much. Here he comes to the bottom of your screen to be lined up on the wingback side of the Syracuse offense.
Okay, Bud, it's a 2nd down and 5 for Syracuse at their own 48. A shoe top tackle and a sure one by number 32 that Bud was talking about, the monster man, Jimmy Glover.
The quarterback, Casada, was looking to lateral that time to Little, but the halfback, Stansel, was up also to cover Little. He very wisely held the ball. Let's watch the monster man for Tennessee as Syracuse breaks the huddle. You'll see him, number 32. There he leaves to go to the top of the screen to line up on the same side as the Syracuse wingback. As the game progresses, Syracuse will try to take advantage of that move.
3rd down and 8 after the 3-yard loss. Casada, a beautiful play by number 88, Nick Showalter, a sophomore from Kingsport, Tennessee, who throws Casada back to the 36, a 9-yard loss, so it'll be 4th down and 17 for Syracuse. And Don Bullard, the punter from Westfield, Massachusetts, averaging about 40 yards a kick, is back to boot. Deep, we have number 44, Jerry Smith. Here's Bullard. Jerry Smith wants a fair catch, and then it takes a Tennessee bounce. Looked on Ed Schreck, number 84. So it'll be Tennessee taking over with a 1st and 10. ABC Sports will be kicking off its spectacular 1967 season of golf on January 21st and 22nd as we bring you live and in color from magnificent Pebble Beach, California, the annual Bing Crosby Pro-Am Golf Tournament. All the top pros battling for more than $100,000 with the glamorous amateurs also there. The January 21st and 22nd, one of 14 big tournaments, including the U.S. Open and the PGA, all on ABC. Dewey Warren. It's complete to Johnny Mills at the 42-yard line, and what a resourceful catch by number 85.
That's again that block pass play, which is the basic offensive maneuver of the Tennessee team. Only one receiver out, Johnny Mills. They look for him as the quarterback rolls out on the quick break, but if he's covered there, then he's on his own to run any kind of a pattern that he wants, and Warren, with everyone else blocking for him, usually has time to throw as he did on that occasion.
Johnny Mills to the far side, 1st and 10 for Tennessee from their own 42. Chadwick in motion. And the Syracuse defense now having trouble with the Dewey Warren passes as Johnny Mills catches it. Kyaski was the nearest man to Mills.
Let's watch him in slow motion here as he starts down the field. See, he's making the break outside, then hooking back to the inside. And when the ball is thrown that way, the defensive man has no chance to break up the play because the defender has his body between the passer who's throwing the ball and the defensive man trying to cover it from behind.
Dewey Warren has thrown 7. He has completed 5. What a lead pass to Walter Chadwick, number 20, as Paul Nadelblatt nailed him at the sideline. We have a penalty marker on the field. 10 attempts by Dewey Warren, 6 completed, and let's see what the penalty will be. As it's holding. It's against Tennessee, and it brings the ball back into Tennessee territory. Offensive holding, the second one against Tennessee today, 15 yards, and it brings the ball back to the 36-yard line. It'll be a 2nd down and 16 for the Volunteers, who lead in the ball game 3-0 with 8:43 left in the first half.
That last pass was indicative of the great ability of Dewey Warren. He can line the ball, or he can hang it up in the air and let the receiver run under it, as he did on the last play.
Warren. He was rushed hard by Bill Wasilius as Kyaski covered Richmond Flowers, number 22. They have an exchange of words. Richmond Flowers, and we look at Floyd Little, who thus far in the ball game has gained 44 yards on the ground, exactly the same as the numerals on his white jersey. That patch is from constant wearing or an abrasion of the football helmet during practice this week. 3rd down and 16 now for Tennessee. Austin Denny caught that floater by Dewey Warren at the Syracuse 27, 1st down. And now Dewey Warren gets 6 first downs for the Volunteers. He has completed 6 of 11 as we look at it once more.
Denny is the tight end. He broke down from the top of your screen there. The ball was hung way up in the air. He had both defenders beat. He jumped perfectly between them to put Tennessee in 4th down position.
Terry Dalton is in place of Denny on a 1st down from the 27. That was Bill Wasilius again, number 86, that reached the quarterback, Dewey Warren. Wasilius from Fairfield, New Jersey, a senior. You're looking at him, 6'4", 220 pounds. Stecker and Wilsilius are the defensive ends.
Denny came back in the game. He was out for one play after that fine sprint of about 30 yards and a great catch.
2nd and 18 for Tennessee at the Syracuse 35. Out there he is. And it is ruled an incompletion. Austin Denny, who had gotten there, apparently did not hold the ball long enough for possession. Let's look at it again and you decide.
Denny will start down the field here. You can see him at the bottom of your screen. He broke to the outside. Ball was hung up in the air by Warren. He caught it, but then as he hit the ground, the force of his elbows hitting the ground jarred the ball loose before he had control of it. An incomplete pass, but one that was awfully close to a touchdown.
That ball was in the air 45 yards by Dewey Warren. Tennessee leads 3-0. 7 minutes left of the first half. Slot formation, flanker to the near side. And Richmond Flowers, the sophomore track and field king, comes to the 21, and it is not enough for a first down, so it'll be a 4th down coming up at the 21 of Syracuse.
That was the first time that Tennessee had been in their triple wing. You can see Flowers, the wide flanker at the bottom of your screen, making the catch. They're now setting up for a field goal.
And Gary Wright, who kicked a 36-yarder at the midpoint of the first quarter, will try one from the 28, so this is a 38-yarder. It's long enough. Good! And he is 2 for 2. Gary Wright, a junior from Heflin, Alabama. It's timeout here at the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida, where the score is Tennessee 6, Syracuse nothing. Floyd Little of Syracuse awaits a kick by Gary Wright following a Wright 38-yard field goal with 6 minutes, 29 seconds left in the first half. Wright has kicked 2 as Tennessee leads 6-0. Here is the kickoff. Floyd Little at the 3. Little, after bobbling the ball at the 3, does manage to come out to his own 18-yard line, where Syracuse will have a first down. Skip Edwards made the stop on Little for Tennessee. Tennessee leads 6-0. This is the 4th time that Syracuse has had the ball here in the first half. Rick Casada, the quarterback. 33 left in the first half.
That last pass was indicative of the great ability of Dewey Warren. He can line the ball, or he can hang it up in the air and let the receiver run under it, as he did on the last play.
Warren, he was rushed hard by Bill Wasilius. As Kajewski covered Richmond Flowers, number 22, they have an exchange of words. Richmond Flowers, and we look at Floyd Little, who thus far in the ball game has gained 44 yards on the ground, exactly the same as the numerals on his white jersey. That patch is from constant wearing or an abrasion of the football helmet during practice this week. 3rd down and 16 now for Tennessee. Austin Denny caught that floater by Dewey Warren at the Syracuse 27, first down. And now Dewey Warren gets 6 first downs for the Volunteers. He has completed 6 of 11 as we look at it once more.
Denny is the tight end. He broke down from the top of your screen there. The ball was hung way up in the air. He had both defenders beat. He jumped perfectly between them to put Tennessee in 4th down position.
Terry Dalton is in place of Denny on a first down from the 27. That was Bill Wasilius again, number 86, that reached the quarterback, Dewey Warren. Wasilius from Fairfield, New Jersey, a senior. You're looking at him, 6'4", 220 pounds. Stecker and Wasilius are the defensive ends.
Denny came back in the game. He was out for one play after that fine sprint of about 30 yards and a great catch.
2nd and 18 for Tennessee at the Syracuse 35. Out there he is. And it is ruled an incompletion. Austin Denny, who had gotten there, apparently did not hold the ball long enough for possession. Let's look at it again and you decide.
Denny will start down the field here. You can see him at the bottom of your screen. He broke to the outside. Ball was hung up in the air by Warren. He caught it, but then as he hit the ground, the force of his elbows hitting the ground jarred the ball loose before he had control of it. An incomplete pass, but one that was awfully close to a touchdown.
That ball was in the air 45 yards by Dewey Warren. Tennessee leads 3-0. 7 minutes left of the first half. Slot formation, flanker to the near side. And Richmond Flowers, the sophomore track and field king, comes to the 21, and it is not enough for a first down, so it'll be a 4th down coming up at the 21 of Syracuse.
That was the first time that Tennessee had been in their triple wing. You can see Flowers, the wide flanker at the bottom of your screen, making the catch. They're now setting up for a field goal.
And Gary Wright, who kicked a 36-yarder at the midpoint of the first quarter, will try one from the 28, so this is a 38-yarder. It's long enough. Good! And he is 2 for 2. Gary Wright, a junior from Heflin, Alabama. It's timeout here at the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida, where the score is Tennessee 6, Syracuse 0.
Ladies and gentlemen, Braniff International welcomes you aboard Flight 930. Our estimated time of arrival is 4:25 Standard Time.
Last year, Braniff International completely redesigned its airline. And we wondered if people would like it. Now, we wonder if people like it a little too much. Oh, we're not against souvenir hunting. So long as it doesn't get out of hand.
Floyd Little of Syracuse awaits a kick by Gary Wright following a Wright 38-yard field goal with 6 minutes, 29 seconds left in the first half. Wright has kicked 2 as Tennessee leads 6-0. Here is the kickoff. Floyd Little at the 3. Little, after bobbling the ball at the 3, does manage to come out to his own 18-yard line where Syracuse will have a first down. Skip Edwards made the stop on Little for Tennessee. Tennessee leads 6-0. This is the 4th time that Syracuse has had the ball here in the first half. Rick Casada, the quarterback. And the deepest man in that I formation, Floyd Little, carries across the 20 as we now pause 5 seconds to allow our local stations to identify themselves. Back again at the Gator Bowl. This is the offensive team of Syracuse. They trail 6-0. Floyd Little, 48 yards. That is Coughlin in motion. fine, effective scissors play by Floyd Little of Syracuse as Neil McMeans, the defensive left end, made the stop, and the ball comes out to the 29, a gain of 7, and that's enough for a Syracuse first down. They now have 6. Tennessee has 6. Syracuse has thrown only 2 passes. They completed 1 to Floyd Little. Little now has 56 yards on the ground. Ole Allen, the wingback, in motion. Newmoff is number 50. And in on the play also, number 43, Harold Stansel.
As you noticed on the play, the monster man for Tennessee, Glover, was at the top of the screen. By using the man in motion, bringing him back to the other side, Syracuse is running away from the strength of the Tennessee defense. They'll try to do that most of the afternoon.
Tom Coughlin now, the wingback to the far side, 2nd and 7. Floyd Little is tripped up by Nick Showalter as a penalty marker is at the 35. Looks like a
illegal procedure.
Right.
Which Tennessee will probably refuse, although they're going to talk it over for a moment.
There is a wind now beginning to cut across the field, a quartering wind here at the Gator Bowl, which is filled to capacity. The 22nd time that this game has been played, and Jacksonville, Florida fans couldn't be better hosts as we see the penalty declined by the Tennessee defense, which means that it is going to be a 3rd down coming up, and 5 for Syracuse at their own 35. Tennessee leads 6-0. Little needed to get to the 40 for the first down. Jimmy Glover, the monster man, and Doug Archibald in on the play.
Very good little play, a substitute for the draw play. Exactly the same theory. The quarterback decided dropping back. Instead of palming the ball off to the deep back, as usually happens in the draw play, he threw a very short forward pass to Floyd Little, who almost found daylight.
Don Bullard now will attempt his 2nd punt of the first half as Jerry Smith is deep for Tennessee, number 44. Bullard boots a beauty at the 17. Jerry Smith is tackled, but hard, by number 51, Tom Rosia, the offensive center who snapped the ball. Timeout here at the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida. The score is Tennessee 6, Syracuse nothing. Superimposed at the top of your screen is the time remaining in the first half of the Gator Bowl. Tennessee leads by virtue of 2 Gary Wright field goals, 36 yards and 38 yards, 6-0. They have the ball again, 1st and 10 from their own 21. Dewey Warren. That is Johnny Mills. The marker is down as Frank Parrish, number 12, along with number 16, Terry Rowe, covered on the play. Let's see what the verdict will be by Pat McHugh, who is the referee here. A personal foul. And there you see 15 yards against Syracuse. It's a first down for Tennessee. Hard-fought battle.
The receiver got out of bounds so quickly, the Syracuse halfback, I don't believe, knew that he was out of bounds, and he thought that he was still in play, when obviously he was not.
Richmond Flowers, the speedster, is to the far side. And that time, Johnny Mills caught the ball out of bounds. Incomplete, 2nd down and 10 now for the Volunteers, Tennessee, who this year had 3 losses by 11 points. They lost by 1 point to Alabama, 7 to Ole Miss. As you see a stop action, and you see Mills is just waiting for the ball to get a grip on it, and he is stepping out of bounds.
He had to go so high to get the ball that he was not able to, of course, to get his feet down inside the sidelines.
fullback on a draw play, Richard Pickens, on a surprise call by Dewey Warren, moves the Volunteers to the 26 of Syracuse as Elliott Gamage blocked up front for Pickens. Murray Johnson made the stop. 34. That is Pickens.
Got a great block also from Flowers downfield.
And Pickens, after his brilliant running play, missed a block, allowing Herb Stecker to get in on Dewey Warren. And there's an 8-yard loss on the play, so it'll be second down and 18. There's Stecker, 82. Looking at the Syracuse defense, number 80, Art Toms. Also in the lineup, Murray Johnson, Bill Wasilius, Tony Kyaski, Johnny Kruk. Warren now has gone to the air a total of 15 times. He's completed 8. Number 9, Johnny Mills. Hard-hitting Tony Kyaski, covering number 85.
That's the first time out for Tennessee. They have 3 more remaining.
At the same end of the field, at 6:26 of the first period, Gary Wright kicked a 36-yard field goal. And then at 6:29 of the second period, the same man kicked a 38-yard field goal to put Tennessee in the lead 6-0. A minute 53 remaining in the first half. And Bud, I think we ought to remind people that at halftime, 2 great bands, the bands from Syracuse and from Tennessee, including these young ladies, who are rather easy to look at.
I believe that Tennessee, as the game goes along, will make an attempt to go to the line and snap the ball quickly, because Syracuse is swinging their halfbacks and linebackers. If they line up quickly, they might catch them a little out of position.
ABC's Wide World of Sports will bring you from Honolulu, Hawaii on January 7th, the Hula Bowl. You'll be seeing the great names of this season's college football season, battling the All-Stars, the North meeting the All-Stars from the South in this colorful postseason game. Floyd Little will be there. You'll see the passing sensation from Purdue, Bob Greasy. From the South, the Heisman Trophy winner, Steve Spurrier of Florida, and Mel Farr, the All-American from UCLA. Bud and I will be there. We hope that you'll be watching it next Saturday on ABC's Wide World of Sports. The Gator Bowl is filled to capacity. And now Tennessee with a 3rd down and 9. Long. That was Walter Chadwick, who had gone out deep. Murray Johnson moved with him, number 34, and Bill Zaneski was there too. So now for Tennessee, with a minute 47 remaining in the first half, it is a 4th down and 9. And Gary Wright, who has kicked 2 field goals in 2 tries at the same end of the field. I wonder what will happen here now.
He's had him right on target the first 2, Chris, and probably would have a good fake play set up, but he's kicking so well that I'd be surprised if they didn't try for it.
This one is from 42 yards, from the 32. Looks a fake. Dewey Warren, way in the end zone. It's a touchdown! A beautiful fake. A fake 42-yard field goal, and the holder, Dewey Warren, hits Austin Denny 24 yards. A Tennessee touchdown, and they lead 12-0.
And the leading scorer of the team has 1 more touchdown, his 8th for the season.
78-yard march. 7 plays. Gary Wright will try the point after. He's going for his 7th point of the ball game. And he doesn't get it. Let's watch that touchdown once more as we see an offside called against Syracuse. We're going to hold up on the videotape replay because it's offside against Syracuse, and you know what that means.
It puts them where they now have a choice of going for 2 from just 1.5 yards out if they choose to do so.
But we are going to show you that 24-yard touchdown pass, Dewey Warren to Austin Denny on a fake field goal. Just beautiful. The Volunteers. And here are the Volunteers.
Going to go for two.
Go for two.
Go for broke.
Dewey Warren calling signals. And they nearly get it as Walter Chadwick, in twisting to pull down that pass. So it remains 12-0. Let's look at that touchdown pass.
The fact that they had kicked two previous field goals, had the Syracuse defense rushing hard. You can see that Warren clearly is outside the defensive end. He had the option to pass or run. He saw Denny open and threw a perfect strike, and Denny makes a marvelous catch here. Reasonably well covered, but he can jump higher than the Syracuse defender, Zaneski, and he brought the ball down for the touchdown.
Dewey Warren, a junior from Savannah, Georgia, threw 18 touchdown passes this year, nearly 1,800 yards on the air. As we look at Floyd Little, who is a real sensation. 3 tremendous years at Syracuse, capping his career today, as Gary Wright will kick off. A low kick. That is Coughlin. Coming out to the 32-yard line with 1:34 remaining in the first half, Bud.
I believe that he meant to kick it that way, Chris, with little time remaining. If you kick the ball and it bounces, it takes its peculiar hops that it's almost impossible to properly time the blocking for a kickoff return. It's a very good strategy to use with only 1:30 remaining.
Syracuse now trailing 12-0. Rick Casada at quarterback. Little and Zonka in the backfield. Interception by Tennessee at the midfield. Bill Young of Tennessee, who intercepted 2 during the season, pulls the first interception off here today at the Gator Bowl on a pass from Casada intended for Ed Schreck. So Tennessee now has 1:13 remaining in the first half, and the ball at the 29 of Syracuse.
And they're very happy that they've conserved their timeouts and have 3 left.
Bill Young is a mighty happy young fellow, number 14. The sun is starting to peek through the haze here in Jacksonville now.
What a catch.
My heavens. Johnny Mills, number 85, caught a brilliant pass, but a marker is down at the line of scrimmage, and Mills is fit to be tied.
One of the greatest catches I've ever seen. It looked like the ball was clearly overthrown. He took an extra hard stride, caught it in one hand. Great effort.
And the penalty, 15 yards, is being stepped off against Tennessee. And that's the 3rd offensive holding penalty. Here it is again.
Here's the ball. You can see that it was clearly a one-handed catch, a remarkable effort, but nullified by the holding penalty.
So it is first down and 25 for Tennessee at the Syracuse 45. So that great catch nullified. Johnny Mills to the near side. Chadwick in motion. And Dewey Warren tries the draw play with the fullback Pickens. Nettelblatt was not fooled this time. In on the play also number 79, Joe Radovoy. Time left, 48 seconds. Tennessee leads by a score of 12-0. First half nearing its end. Don't forget, tomorrow afternoon is the first game of ABC Sports' 1967 schedule of NBA basketball. Live and in color from Los Angeles, the defending champion Boston Celtics against the Los Angeles Lakers. Jack Twyman and I will be on hand to describe the action. That's tomorrow, 4:30 Eastern Standard Time, live and in color, exclusively on ABC. We'll be with you each Sunday afternoon with the NBA Game of the Week. Speaking of California, January 21st and 22nd, the Bing Crosby Pro-Am Golf Tournament. Bud, are you going to play in that tournament?
I think I am, Chris.
Beautiful.
I've got to get myself in shape.
We need you there.
They tell me that Spyglass Hill is a monster golf course, that it ranks with Pebble Beach. I'm sure that everyone will enjoy seeing that played.
Cypress Point, Pebble Beach, Spyglass. It'll
And
make you want to go to bed at night playing those three.
And hopefully some excellent weather.
Yes, well, I'm sure our friend Bing Crosby will have everything in order, along with his brother Larry and Maury Luxford. Second down at 25 now, near the 45. Tennessee with the ball. Syracuse on defense. Richmond Flowers! The clock is running. I believe they called timeout. Tennessee, Dewey Warren is sensational with the bomb. And he hits sophomore Richmond Flowers, who is one of our bright hopes for the '68 Olympic Games.
Flowers really turns on the speed here. He breaks to the outside and then simply outruns the defensive halfback. The ball again appeared to be a little bit too long, but with a great stretch, he caught it as he lost his balance, falling on the 2-yard line and then rolling into the end zone.
A 43-yard play. So we'll have a first down and goal to go from the 2 for Tennessee. 35 seconds left on the clock. Richmond Flowers does the 120 hurdles in 13.5, the 60-yard dash in 6 flat, the 60-yard hurdles in 6.9, runs 109.5. He's 19 years old from Montgomery.
This is a strategic problem for Tennessee due to the clock. There are 35 seconds remaining. They have 1 timeout left. They, of course, would like to not waste any time going back to the huddle. If you run the play here, they can use 1 more timeout. If they throw it, it'll probably either be a touchdown or an incomplete pass.
Flowers to the far side. That was Richmond Flowers. And Richmond apparently feels that he was offended in his end zone. However, second and goal. "29 seconds, Bud.
They still have that timeout remaining due to the pass being incomplete.
Going to the far side now is number 85, Johnny Mills. Denny is the tight end. All alone, Richmond Flowers. They flooded the area with 2 receivers, and Richmond Flowers, there he is, number 22, and we'll see him, I'm sure, in Mexico City for the '68 Olympics to be televised by ABC.
Fine call. The Syracuse linebacker from the 2-yard line was up close. He simply didn't have speed enough to go with Flowers, who was wide open after Mills had taken the halfback out of the play.
It's 18-0. Tennessee is in the lead. Gary Wright. No good. From the 2-yard line on a second and goal, let's take a look at the touchdown as thrown by Dewey Warren. There's Flowers.
Flowers is the wingback. He simply turned on the speed to the flat and outran the linebacker. No one near him as he caught the ball on a perfect throw from Dewey Warren.
Gary Wright kicked 2 field goals to put Tennessee ahead 6-0. 2 field goals at 36 yards and 38 yards as we watch Floyd Little, who awaits the kickoff following the Tennessee touchdown. As we look at Wright,
the ball is flat. It's going to be a spin kick to eliminate the possibility of a well-timed, well-blocked kickoff return.
It's Little. And the Volunteers make the stop around the 31, led by Jim Bates. Coach Doug Dickey's Tennessee club has an 18-0 lead on 2 touchdowns 2 field goals, 2 touchdown passes by Dewey Warren. He's been just sensational in the first half. A touchdown to Austin Denny, another to Richmond Flowers, Gary Wright with a pair of field goals. Syracuse has just been unable to move the ball against the Tennessee defense, which this year has had only 8.7 points per game, and they have certainly played a most difficult schedule.
Syracuse has had a few big gainers, but the stunting Tennessee defense is inclined to give you the bad play. Whenever the offensive linemen do miss a block, one of the linemen on defense goes free and throws them for the loss, and that, of course, has made it impossible for Syracuse thus far to sustain their attack. However, Syracuse has been a great comeback team, and I don't believe they're out of it.
Well, an interception and 2 quick touchdowns in a matter of a minute and 20 seconds. Tennessee has scored twice. Warren to Denny, 24 yards, and then Warren to Flowers, 2 yards, as our ABC color camera, situated in a Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company blimp, which is hovering above the Gator Bowl, the Mayflower, a non-rigid airship designed and built in Akron, Ohio. Syracuse at its own 31 with 10 seconds left in the first half. Rick Casada. A long bomb intended for Dicktown, but it's intercepted by Jerry. Wait just a minute. We'll get the jersey. It looked like Jerry Smith, or it could have been Young, who intercepted the only other pass. Well, we'll get that officially for you a little bit later, as we have the end of the first half here at the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida. The score is Tennessee 18, Syracuse nothing.
No matter where or when a State Farm auto parts
Bill Fleming back at the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida, where the Volunteers of Tennessee lead Syracuse at halftime 18-0. Right now, the Syracuse University Marching Band is on the field under the direction of Mr. Edward Bowles and assistants Ronald Rinaldo and Robert Hunter. They're presenting their Motion and Melody show this afternoon, and this is the March America with precision marching by the band. Following this formation, the Syracuse University Band will go into a map of New York State. The winter wonderland right now, New York State. It's a very balmy 64 degrees right now here in Jacksonville, Florida, but we understand there are more than 20 inches of snow in New York State, making it ideal for the winter wonderland that it is. Incidentally, later on today on ABC's Wide World of Sports, part of that winter wonderland will be coming to you from Lake Placid, New York, and the beautiful figure skating show from there. Hope you'll join us for it. In a couple of weeks, you'll be seeing from Grossinger's the World Barrel Jumping Championship, also from New York State. And the Erie Canal being played, recalling the historic and memorable heritage of the state of New York. 8th, a little altercation down here as the sign was torn down, and the gendarmes now are making haste toward that area. Well, it's all part of the fun in this first meeting between Tennessee and Syracuse. And right now, the Volunteers have the upper hand, not only on the scoreboard, but also in tearing down the sign department. Syracuse fans appreciate the hospitality of their Florida neighbors. Opportunity to take in some of the sunshine and the sheltering palms. This past week has really been gorgeous here in Florida. Clear skies, been a little bit on the chilly side up until today, but great contrast to the weather they've come from in upper New York State. Now the Block S for Syracuse University, and this will be followed by the alma mater. Syracuse University Marching Band. The Gator Bowl is being brought to you by State Farm Mutual, the world's largest car insurance company. Agents everywhere to help you when you need it. By Certs. Certs give you 2 mints in one. Delicious candy mint, perfect breath mint. Be certain with Certs. And by United Delco for service dealers everywhere who feature the vacuum-sealed Delco Energizer. And now the pride of the Southland band from the University of Tennessee. Extra zip in the march here at halftime as the Volunteers are leading Syracuse 18-0. 2 field goals by Gary Wright and 2 passes from Dewey Warren. One to Austin Denny, the other to Richmond Flowers, accounting for the scores. band from the University of Tennessee was organized immediately after the Civil War when the university reopened. Since that time, the enrollment in the band program has grown to more than 300 students in all bands from all of the college of the university. The band program is divided into several different units, and the most famous is this band you're seeing right now, the Pride of the Southland. It appears in all home football games and the out-of-town games. Incidentally, this is their third appearance on ABC TV this year, and we're very happy to bring it to you today from the colorful Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida. This band also features precision marching with excellent music. There's the Goodyear blimp that is over the field today with our ABC TV color camera in it, bringing you the pictures that we so much like to bring you of these sports events. I'm sure that if you followed us all through '66, you have been thrilled with many of the sights, just as you are today from Florida. That's the way to watch a band show, isn't it? With precision marching, to get that amount of elevation, really let you see the beautiful patterns that this band is forming. Music coming up now. What a wonderful day like today. Now from the circle drill, and what a wonderful day like today, the band moves into a concert formation and the stirring battle hymn of the Republic. And now the University of Tennessee band moving into the traditional UT. And now the alma mater, under the direction of Dr. J. Julian, the Spirit of the Hill for the University of Tennessee.
The Tennessee alma mater.
The University of Tennessee and Syracuse University are members of the National Collegiate Athletic Association, which numbers 580 of the nation's finest colleges and universities. The Gator Bowl game is certified by the NCAA, which sets standards voted by its members for both the bowl associations and the participating teams. The NCAA at this time wishes to congratulate these fine teams, the Gator Bowl and the American Broadcasting Company, for providing this showcase for intercollegiate football, the All-American game for all Americans. The NCAA extends best wishes, too, for the happiest and most productive of New Years in 1967 to the viewers of this telecast everywhere. And to this, we'd like to add, we at ABC Sports have had an extremely exciting and thrilling year, made particularly rewarding by NCAA football, which you have seen on Saturday afternoons here from the beginning of September. We'd like to thank Walter Byers, Herb Doricott, Asa Bushnell, and members of the NCAA Television Committee for making it such an enjoyable year here on ABC Sports. We'll be back with the start of the second half between Syracuse and Tennessee in just a moment.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we sincerely hope that you enjoyed that spectacular halftime show by the Tennessee and Syracuse bands. Thank you, Bill Fleming, for the description. And now, once again, Bud Wilkinson and yours truly, Chris Schenkel, look with you as our ABC color camera gives you this shot from the Goodyear blimp. The Gator Bowl, standing room only. And at halftime, the University of Tennessee Volunteers have an 18-0 lead over Syracuse, and there are the first half statistics.
You can see that the story of the game is in yards passing. Tennessee 189 against only 8 for Syracuse. Dewey Warren completing 12 of 20 for 2 touchdowns. Syracuse has rushed for 98 against 42 for Tennessee, but their pass defense thus far has not had enough speed to cover the great Tennessee receivers, and Warren is having a fine day throwing the ball.
In the middle of the 3 men deep, Floyd Little, number 44. On the near side, far side rather, it is Tom Coughlin, and near side Ole Allen, as Gary Wright, who has kicked 2 field goals for Tennessee, will start the second half. And here it is. That is Tom Coughlin coming out to the 20 and is down at the 26-yard line of Syracuse, and Rick Casada and the offensive team of Syracuse take over. The tackle was made by Rick Marino of Tennessee, Bud.
One of the problems, of course, Syracuse faces, a team that likes to grind out the yardage with ball possession football, being behind by 18 points, does need to loosen up the attack. I believe that they will throw it more this half. It's power eye to the short side this time.
In motion is Allen, Zonka, and beautiful balance by the big fullback at 225 pounds, 6'3", a junior, Larry Zonka, moves from his own 26 out to the 42, where Dave Murphy meets him and brings him down.
Each time that he reads the slant of the defensive lineman correctly, he's popped through clean.
Power I formation. Allen in motion. First down. A marker is down on the field near the line of scrimmage as Floyd Little shows you why he has been All-American 3 years at Syracuse. As he goes to the Tennessee 37, the players now move back toward the line of scrimmage, which was the 42 of Syracuse.
That's the second tough penalty that Syracuse has had. On Tennessee's first possession, they stopped them and then were called for roughing the kicker. They had a great drive going here. Let's take a look at this run in slow motion. You'll see how well Little reads the defense. He starts off tackle and then sees the hole open up inside. So he cuts back very quickly here. You can see him plant his foot, coming back to the short side. The Tennessee defensive men were not able to react quite fast enough. He turns on the speed here, cuts back one more time, momentarily is in the clear, but then is pulled down from behind.
Back live now and in color. It's 1st and 25 from the 28 of Syracuse. Zonka gets 7 yards on the carry. The offensive holding penalty against Syracuse was the 4th offensive holding penalty that we've had thus far in the ball game. And there you look at the offensive lineup of Syracuse as the man that intercepted 2 passes in the first half, Bill Young, comes into the Tennessee defensive lineup, replacing Dave Murphy. Second down and 17. Little with the wall of blockers, bringing the ball out to about the 45. Jim LeMessurier was one of the blockers. Nick Showalter and Bill Young stop Little, joined by Doug Archibald, as Floyd Little comes back to the Syracuse huddle and Tom Coughlin replaces Allen at wingback.
Tennessee had a comfortable situation after the penalty. You feel if you can allow 6 yards per gain per play and still not give up the first down, you're in good shape. But Syracuse now is at 3rd and 9.
Little throwing a fine block was Rick Casada, the quarterback, and it's a first down for Syracuse at the Tennessee 44. There was a gain of 12 yards by Floyd Little as we look at the Saltine Warrior of Syracuse. Little now has carried the ball 13 times. He has gained 80 yards on the ground. Ole Allen to the far side, the wingback. Joining Floyd Little, we had Doug Archibald, number 55, and 88, Nick Showalter of the Tennessee defense, as Little now has taken the ball to the 39, a gain of 5 on the play. It'll be a 2nd and 5 here in the opening moments of the second half.
Tennessee has changed their defense. They're using a split guard set to try to get an extra man in the middle against Zonka and still leave them strong enough to the flanks.
Floyd Little trying for the first down on a 2nd and 5 from the Tennessee 39. Dave Murphy in defensively for Tennessee. Former Miss Teenage America, one of the Syracuse majorettes, little freshman at Syracuse.
I believe that this down we'll see Tennessee go into their 7-1 short yardage goal line type defense.
There you see Little's yardage as he shifts and sets now on a 3rd and 1. Zonka is called on to get the first down, and he does. Syracuse with a 1st and 10 as they have moved the ball now from their own 26 to about the Tennessee 32. Syracuse with 8 first downs thus far in the ball game, 10 for Tennessee.
Almost shot the gap perfectly, hit Zonka behind the line of scrimmage, but Zonka just had too much power. He rolled off the tackle to pick up the first down.
Syracuse having scored 37 touchdowns this year, averaging 25 points a game. 21 of the touchdowns were on the ground. Floyd Little again. Doug Archibald, number 55 for Tennessee. And again, Rick Casada, the quarterback, blocked on the sweep to the near side.
And once again, Tennessee was in the 7-1 defensive alignment. It's one of the hardest defenses to run against, but Syracuse, with that great power, great blocking, has moved the ball well against it thus far this half.
Syracuse is on the move. Tennessee leads 18-0, 9:39 remaining in the 3rd quarter. And Syracuse has taken the second half kickoff. They have controlled the ball for the first 5 minutes and 35 seconds with the rushes of Little and Zonka. Jim McDonald stopped Little on the last play at the 25, so it'll be a 3rd down and 2 at the Tennessee 25. Jim Murphy is the offensive center now for Syracuse. Zonka is very close to the first down. He gets it.
Great line takeoff by the Syracuse offensive forward wall. Tennessee again on their goal line 7, and the linebacker almost stopped the gap. Zonka hit right straight into the power and picked up the first down.
So with the ball at the 22, it's a first down, Syracuse. A marker goes down as Ole Allen. Let's see what the call will be by Pat McHugh, the referee, in the white cap. Newmoff and Morrell in on the play for Tennessee. There is Newmoff, All-American. There are many All-Americans in this game today. Floyd Little, Zonka, and Bugenhagen for Syracuse. Austin Denny, Bob Johnson, Ron Whitby, and Paul Newmoff for Tennessee, as the penalty is against Syracuse.
For clipping on the play.
There's the signal by the referee. So the down is replayed. First down and 25. The ball comes back to the 35. The Tennessee 35, as Tom Rosia is snapping the ball now for Coach Ben Schwartzwalder. That was Ole Allen, quickly grabbed by Jerry Smith and Harold Stansel. Number 61 also in on the play, Bobby Morrell.
One of the fine misdirection plays in football, the Syracuse scissors play, which Allen carried the ball on the last down. When you have Little and Zonka faking to one side, the defense has got a great magnet draw that way, which sets up the scissors for Allen coming back.
Murphy replaces Bill Young defensively for Tennessee. Second and 15 for Syracuse. Floyd Little. Floyd Little getting a Rick Casada pass here in the third quarter with 7:33 remaining. And in slow motion, Bud, you can join the viewers once again.
Very fine throw by Casada here. Little swings out. Casada drops back, sets. Little turns. He's outside the end. Casada hangs the ball in perfectly, and that puts Little in the open field where he likes to be. Watch him as he fakes upfield here. Cutting pass between two men before he's tackled on the 17-yard line.
And it's third down and 7 for Syracuse. Little. A bruising run by Little, battling for the first down, and he gets it. So Syracuse, for the first time, is inside the Tennessee 10. As we look at Coach Ben Schwartzwalder on the left and Doug Dickey on the right.
I don't believe that I've seen a team this year overcome two 15-yard penalties on the same drive as Syracuse has just done.
Okay, it's time out here at the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida, where the score is Tennessee 18, Syracuse nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, there are 60,321 spectators here at the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida, as the sun peeks through. We have been here televising the Gator Bowl for the past 3 years, and each of the 3 years the capacity crowd and the demand for tickets gets larger and larger. In fact, Bud, I'm glad we didn't have too many people that wanted tickets, or we would have disappointed a lot of folks.
They were very difficult to come by last night for anyone, and many people looking for them.
And rightfully so, because Tennessee is meeting Syracuse. Syracuse with a first and goal at the Tennessee 8. Little in motion. Casada gives to Zonka. Zonka's on the move. Zonka is at the goal line. Touchdown! Harris Winky, number 71, blocked beautifully for Zonka. And Larry Zonka, who scored 7 touchdowns this year and gained 1,012 yards, adds 8 more to his total, and he put Syracuse on the scoreboard for the first time, capping a 74-yard drive and 16 plays, as Alex Gusev now will try the point after. It is no good. Timeout here at the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida, where the score is Tennessee 18, Syracuse 6. And now we return to our studios for this message. On the near side, Richmond Flowers, the sensation of Tennessee, and Bill Baker on the far side await Alex Guseff's kick following a Syracuse touchdown of 8 yards by Larry Zonka. Tennessee is in the lead, 18-6. Into a quartering wind. The kick is short. The kick came down at the 26. It was Skip Edwards who fielded the ball and went 4 yards with the kick return out to his own 30-yard line. And that's where they will put the ball in play as John Bullets makes the stop for Syracuse.
The Tennessee problem now strategically is whether they should continue to play the wide-open game that they used the first half, or whether they should be a little bit more conservative and try to protect their lead.
Syracuse had the ball 8 minutes and 38 seconds of the third quarter in that drive as Walter Chadwick gets the first call, and Ed Manti makes the stop for the Syracuse defense at, let's call it, the 34. It'll be 2nd and 6 now for Tennessee as we look at their offensive lineup and their huddle. All-American Bob Johnson, a junior center, ready to snap the ball. We have Mills to the far side. Flowers in the slot. Walter Chadwick has filled in beautifully for the starter, Charlie Fulton, who re-injured himself early in the ball game. Number 16, Dewey Warren, who has thrown 2 touchdown passes, one to Denny of 24 yards and a 2-yarder to Richmond Flowers. So
Big
now
play
we're going
coming.
to have a 3rd down coming up with the ball at the 37, 3rd down and 3. And Chadwick gets the first down for Tennessee, running into Ed Manti and Bill Zaneski. There is number 20, Walter Chadwick from Decatur, Georgia, a junior.
One of the great short yardage plays in football is the quarterback option, which you just saw. Warren coming down the line had the end box to cover Chadwick. He would have been able to turn upfield and pick up the first down. When the end played the quarterback, he was able to pitch for sizable yardage.
Mills and Flowers are set to the far side. 1st and 10. There's Mills. Look out. Mills was shook away from one Syracuse player, and what a job he did. A second effort by number 85 Mills as we look at it once more.
This is the block pass again where he's the only receiver out. This time he's open on the quick cut. So Warren hit him quickly. As he catches the ball here, you can see Kayaski come up. He breaks outside of Kayaski. Now he looks to the inside, sees the Syracuse safety man coming over. He cut back to the inside, but Zaneski made a great move also and recovered to make the tackle.
A 26-yard play, 1st down from the 27 for Tennessee. And the rush on Dewey Warren was engineered by Terry Rowe, a senior from Walton, New York.
Tough decision that time for the referee. Was it intentional grounding or not? He was right on the play and made the decision that Warren did have an eligible receiver in the general area in which he threw the ball.
There was a 13-yard loss in the making. So it'll go now as a 2nd down and 10. Tennessee with the ball. Their cheerleaders. Flowers comes to the near side. 2nd and 10 from the 27. Mills is the split end opposite. Austin Denny. What a catch.
We've seen some of the finest pass receiving from Tennessee players this afternoon that I've seen at any time, let alone this year. Remarkable one-handed catches.
And Bud, I would have to say, in the 20 games now that we have done this year, this has to be one of the top 2 or 3 teams that we have had the pleasure of watching.
They have great versatility, both offensively and defensively.
3rd down and 3. A loose ball. Syracuse may have gotten it. And so a Tennessee drive, as a result of hard hitting, is stalled. As the Orangemen from Syracuse get it. Number 35 getting off the pile was Steve Zagalia, and number 80, Art Toms, recovered the ball for Syracuse. There is Toms, number 80, as we have a timeout here at the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida, where the score is Tennessee 18, Syracuse 6. With 3 minutes and 14 seconds remaining in the third quarter, it's 18-6. Syracuse has just gotten the ball back on a fumble recovery. Here's a reminder. Later this afternoon on ABC's Wide World of Sports, you'll be seeing international figure skating from Lake Placid, the Nassau Trophy sports car race from Nassau, a special preview of NBA basketball featuring highlights of action during the 1965 season, and an interview, Howard Cosell with Cassius Clay and Ernie Terrell. A little explosion there. So be with ABC's Wide World of Sports later today. Here's Syracuse now. Rick Casada, 1st and 10. The ball at about the 11. Floyd Little moves to the 15, comes out to the 20. Jerry Smith made the tackle for Tennessee as we look at Little now, who has moved the ball on the ground effectively. He has 110 yards in 19 carries.
Syracuse is using the power I to the short side of their line, and they're getting Tennessee a little bit out of position defensively. The line has been overshifted to the strong side, and the tactic has made it impossible for them to keep possession of the ball.
2nd and 2 now. That is Larry Zonka squirming, hopefully for the first down. Doug Archibald. There is some strange equipment.
It looks as though he's had trouble keeping his shoe on, and so they've taped it across the bottom of the sole up over the ankle. He may have ripped it on the far side.
In fact, what would athletics do without tape? But
it's pretty hard to get on the field sometimes.
1st and 10. Markers down. Boy, Little turns the corner. Little goes from about the 21 of Syracuse to the 21 of Tennessee. A marker was down back at the line of scrimmage, but apparently the penalty is against Tennessee.
It often happens, Chris, that when your team knows that they have committed a penalty, they relax, and when they relax, they forget that the ball is in play. Therefore, Tennessee relaxed after jumping offside. Syracuse snapped the ball. While Tennessee was relaxed, Little almost broke into the clear. This moves them into the 24-yard line. Excellent field position.
A 55-yard run. We'll show you that offside as Floyd Little goes 55 yards on that magnificent run, helped up by Tom Coughlin. A face mask penalty, not an offside. There is the personal foul signal as a result of a face mask violation, and Tennessee was offside. So it's 1st and 10 at about the 12-yard line. Zonka into a firm wall, which includes Bobby Morrell, number 61. There's Zonka, 39, and All-American Paul Newmoff from Columbus, Ohio. There's Newmoff on the isolated camera.
Beautiful field position and great strength as he made the tackle.
Now it's going to be a 2nd down and 8 from the 10-yard line. Little gets 6 more yards.
Once again, the power I giving Syracuse more blockers to the short side than Tennessee has defenders.
Zonka blocked beautifully for Floyd Little. He and Floyd Little have combined in the past 2 years to gain over 1,800 yards on the ground in each of the seasons. 3rd down and about 2 yards for the 1st down. And Tennessee stops Syracuse right near the line of scrimmage. Neil McMeans, number 87, and Newmoff, number 50, in on the play. 4th down.
That was the first time that Tennessee has been in the 7-4 goal line defense. They disregarded the chance that Syracuse might pass, and we now have the biggest play of the ball game coming up. Score 18-6, 4th down, and 2 to go for Syracuse from the 4-yard line.
Zonka, Little moving to the near side, number 44, as Quesada apparently does not want to call signals when there is so much cheering going on. Coach Ben Schwartzwalder, who has coached 116 victories in 18 years at Syracuse.
The fans that are closer to the ball are the Tennessee fans, and they're whooping it up as Syracuse gets to the line of scrimmage. But, of course, the quarterback should never call the snap count until he's sure that his offensive lineman can hear him, because the line takeoff is the most important part of an offensive play.
Ole Allen is the wingback. That's Little moving to set, and now we have an expiration of time in the 3rd quarter, the end of the 3rd quarter here at the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida, where the score is Tennessee 18. Syracuse 6. The 4th quarter now gets underway, and Syracuse has the ball. 4th down and 2 at the Tennessee 4. A big play. Let's watch it. Little sets to the far side. Allen. And the Tennessee defense. Nick Showalter, number 86. Number 88, Nick Showalter, is the man that was not fooled on the play to the outside by Ole Allen, and Tennessee takes over on downs at its own 7-yard line. 1st down.
He was not only not fooled, Chris, but he battled his way right straight through 2 blockers and made the tackle as he fought through the last blocker. Let's watch him now as he comes across. It's a pitch back to Allen. There's Showalter fighting past Floyd Little, fighting through Zonka to make the tackle. A great play, tremendous determination.
18-6, Tennessee leading now. That is Dewey Warren, the quarterback. Right on the shoulder pads was Herb Stecker, number 82. There's Warren, number 16, who helped Stecker to his feet.
Syracuse certainly dominated the 3rd quarter, Chris. They ran 24 plays to 5, and they had the ball for 11 of the 15 minutes.
But would you call that game or ball control?
Yes, and they overcame 2 15-yard penalties in their touchdown drive.
Now it's a 2nd down and 11 from the 5. That was Richmond Flowers, carried out of bounds by Tony Kayaski, number 45, and Tom George. Number 85 coming back to the huddle, Johnny Mills, who pats Flowers on you-know-where.
Syracuse has changed their defensive alignment thus far in this half. They are still in the 5-3, but they've overshifted the line and undershifted the linebackers. However, their secondary is still having trouble picking up the speed of the Tennessee pass receivers.
The linesman, Robert Gaston, and his crew are at the near sideline measuring for a possible 1st down. Number 16, Dewey Warren, gives the indication to his coach, Doug Dickey, that they are short by less than a yard, so it'll be a 3rd down. 18-6, Tennessee in the lead here at the Gator Bowl, and it's another thriller from Jacksonville, Florida. We have to congratulate the Gator Bowl president, Frank Norris, and the executive vice president, our old friend George Olson, for coming up with another pairing that has provided plenty of exciting football. 3rd down and less than a yard for Tennessee at their own 16. Dewey Warren tries to get the yardage. And it is a 1st down for the Volunteers. Dewey Warren, who gained 1,716 yards in the air, carries the ball for Tennessee and gets the big 1st down.
Syracuse took the gamble of having all 11 men within 4 yards of the line of scrimmage. Had Tennessee passed, it might have gone, but they accomplished their purpose by getting the 1st down.
Walter Chadwick, the ball carrier for the Volunteers. Ed Manti, number 40, in on the tackle for Syracuse, joined by Steve Zagalia. So with the ball out at the 24, it's a gain of 6. It'll be a 2nd down and 4. The ball is on the 24 of Tennessee with 13 minutes remaining in the ball game. Tennessee leads 18-6. Flowers to the far side. Mills to the near side. Chadwick in motion. And Pickens is stopped by number 72 Fitzgibbons, Herb Stecker, and Terry Rowe, and John Kroc. That is Charlie Fulton, who was the starting back for the Tennessee offense. Pulled a groin muscle on a sweep type play, and he's just watching the game now. 3rd and about 5. Intercepted by Kajewski.
Well, he timed it perfectly.
Tony Kajewski of Syracuse University turns the tables on Tennessee, coming up with a big interception here. Kajewski, who had 4 this season and was the leading interceptor for Syracuse, as we look at it once more.
Kajewski is back as Mills starts down the field. The ball is thrown softly. He timed it perfectly, breaking in front of Mills, moving down the sidelines, avoiding the first tackler, picking up a couple of blockers, but then being caught from behind. Syracuse in great field position at the 15.
On a reverse, Ole Allen fumbles, and Tennessee gets it back. Allen fumbles. So in 2 plays, an interception and a fumble, as Harold Stansel recovered the fumble, number 43 coming to the near sideline. So Tennessee gets it right back with a 1st and 10 at its own 14. Wow. Going to the far side is Johnny Mills, the split end. Dewey Warren. And that was Richmond Flowers, number 22, who was in the slot. And as you see, came across his own 20, out to the 23, a gain of about 9. So it'll be 2nd and 1 as Stecker and Art Toms tackle.
Once again, the superior speed of Flowers making it possible for him to outrun the linebacker.
A further medical report on Charlie Fulton of Tennessee. In addition to the groin injury, he also has cracked ribs. Johnny Mills to the far side, 2nd and 1. Warren trying to find daylight.
Fine defensive play by Art Toms.
Right. Saltine Warrior, the Syracuse cheerleaders and the band on the far side of the field looking on. And it's going to be a 3rd down and 1 for Tennessee at about their own 24.
On the last 3 short yardage plays, Tennessee has run the quarterback option. Let's see if Warren goes with it again.
16 for 26, including 2 touchdowns. A fine afternoon. Right you are, bud. Did he make it? Art Toms again in on the play, along with Terry Rowe, number 16. 1st down for Tennessee. The scoring has been 2 field goals by Gary Wright, 2 touchdown passes by Dewey Warren, 1 to Denny and 1 to Richmond Flowers. And Syracuse capped a 74-yard march at 6:36 of the 3rd period, with Zonka going 8 yards for the score. Mills to the near side now, 1st and 10 from the 25.
What a catch.
Johnny Mills, another fine catch. The 2 senior ends here for Tennessee, Austin Denny and Johnny Mills, have put on quite a show, as Kajewski covered Mills on the play. 17 for 27, Dewey Warren in the air.
Syracuse is beginning to shoot their linebackers in an attempt to rush Warren. They almost got to him. You can see here on stop action how he stretched for the ball and what a perfect throw he got. On his fingertips, setting up the first down.
He's at the bottom of your screen now. Flowers in the slot, Chadwick in motion, 2nd and 7. It was intended for the split end. Mills, as Kayaski, number 45, covered him. Floyd Little and his teammates look on from the far side, and Little, incidentally, has 22 carries, 170 yards.
And he wants to get back in the game, Chris.
Right. He's off to the Hula Bowl, Bud.
Not a bad place to be headed.
Well, we might as well go, too. ABC's Wide World of Sports will bring you the Hula Bowl a week from today. Probably the greatest collection of college seniors ever assembled in one game. Spurrier and Greasy. But right here's a good quarterback who gets hit from behind. Ruled as an incompletion. Dave Casmay and Art Toms pinching in and get Dewey Warren. So it's going to be a 4th down for Tennessee, and a great all-around athlete comes in, Ron Whitby, who played basketball in the Sugar Bowl tournament last night, scoring 20 points, but was defeated along with his teammates by Boston College, as Floyd Little now is deep. Ron Whitby, a golfer, first baseman, basketball and punter. Oh, a beauty. Little at the 25. A 47-yard punt by Ron Whitby into a quartering wind, and Syracuse takes over as we have a timeout here at the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida. The score, Tennessee 18, Syracuse 6. Following a 47-yard punt by Ron Whitby, Syracuse has the ball 1st and 10 at its own 31. It's 18-6 Tennessee with 8:57 left in the ball game. Little. Following the play was Captain Paul Newmoff, number 50. There he is getting up. And we'll give you an isolated camera videotape replay and watch Newmoff.
He's the linebacker on the 7-1 defense here. The pitch will be coming back to Floyd Little as he turns up the field. There comes Norman from the inside, making the tackle, stopping him for a 2-yard gain.
From the Syracuse 33, 2nd and 8. Zonka out to the 40. Another block by Gary Bugenhagen, an All-American. And a measurement now called for. As Floyd Little looks on, along with Paul Newmoff, the captains, this is Larry Zonka. And he may be the man that Rick Casada will call on to pick up that 8 or 10 inches necessary for the Syracuse first down on a 3rd down.
In a situation like this, you're always fearful that by trying too hard to stop the first down, you might allow a long gainer. I'm sure that that's what Tennessee is concerned about, particularly Doug Dickey at this moment. If they close too fast on Zonka and the pitch goes to Little, he might find daylight.
All right, Bud? Ole Allen is the wingback at the bottom of your screen, number 19. Zonka, the ball carrier, as Doug Archibald tried to stop his forward progress, but it's a first down for Syracuse. There goes Ole Allen, number 19, over to Coach Ben Schwartzwalder here at the Gator Bowl. This is Doug Dickey, one of his sons, walking right behind him. Joe Graham is in the Tennessee defense now, replacing Dick Williams, a sophomore tackle. Little. That was Dave Murphy, number 25, that came up with that big defensive play. Harold Stansel was there to make sure. And a Syracuse player is shaken up at about the 42. As there is a loss on the play, we have a timeout here at the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida, where the score is Tennessee 18, Syracuse 6. Jacksonville, Florida, scene of the Gator Bowl, the 22nd Gator Bowl. 7 minutes, 5 seconds left in the game. Syracuse has a second down and 12 at its own 39. Tennessee leads 18-6. Rick Casada. Good fake. A fine rush by Neil McMeans of Gate City, Virginia, caused Casada to be a little bit off on his pass intended for Floyd Little. So it'll be a 3rd and 12.
Having stopped Syracuse on first down for a 2-yard loss, Tennessee went out of their 7-1 defense, which they feel is more effective against the running attack than their 5-2. However, on long yardage, they were in the 5-2 on that down, and they'll be in it again this time.
A lot of yards, 182 by Floyd Little today. Doug Archibald, number 55 at midfield for Tennessee. And Tennessee now has come up with 3 interceptions as Rick Casada has completed 2 of 7 forward passes. The Tennessee defense has done it again, and they take over. And they have it at the Syracuse 48-yard line. Casada may have been injured on that last play.
Syracuse has a remarkable running attack. They haven't thrown the ball particularly well all year, and yet they look great on offense with the running of Zonka and Little.
Walter Chadwick, Herring and Terry Rowe, joined by Zagalia on the tackle. Rick Casada, apparently in pain, holding that right knee, as you see. Casada, who is a junior from Tonawanda, New York. Tennessee with a 2nd and 7 now at the 46, make it the 45, as Chadwick carries for Tennessee. Steve Zagalia, again in on the play. And Art Toms, number 80. Zagalia, number 35.
It's a very important down here for Tennessee. They need the first down to keep possession of the football.
It'll be a 3rd down and 5. Casada still in pain on the sideline as Dewey Warren calls signals. That was Chadwick colliding with Manti, number 40, and Stecker, number 82. So it's a closed fist by the referee, which means 4th down at the 40. 4th down and 2 for Tennessee with 5 minutes, 1 second left in the ball game. Ron Whidbey is in the lineup, number 11, and Floyd Little is deep around his own 4. A touchback. So Syracuse gets the ball now with a 1st and 10 from its own 20 as we have a timeout here at the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida. The score, Tennessee 18, Syracuse 6. Syracuse University now has another opportunity with 4 minutes and 37 seconds left in the ball game in the Gator Bowl. 1st and 10 at their own 20. Rick Casada is back there calling signals. Little and Zonka behind him. The ball goes to Floyd Little, the captain. He gets very little yardage, if any, none. Bobby Morrell in on the play, so it'll be a 2nd down and 10. The old yardage record in the Gator Bowl was 175 yards on the ground in 1948 by Lou Gambino of Maryland, and it appears that Little has passed that with about 182 to this point. Coughlin to the near side, 2nd and 10. That was Zonka sweeping. Number 39.
He's got great power, and he has a remarkable balance for a big man.
You can just get a good idea how hard hitting this football game has been at just looking at Larry Zonka. He's got to be tired because they have been hopping.
But he certainly hasn't given up. He's making the same effort now that he did when he was fresh.
Another first down for Syracuse. This one coming at the 30. Floyd Little gets a block from Harris Winky again.
That's the first sizable gain that Syracuse has made against the 7-1 defense that Tennessee has been using on first down. It's tough to go inside against the 7-1, a little easier to attack it at the flanks.
17 yards more on the ground for Little, bringing them out to their own 47 with a first down. 2 minutes, 54 seconds left in the ball game. This is Coughlin. Tom Coughlin from Waterloo, New York, a junior, tackled by Paul Newmoff. And it appears that one of the teams have asked for a timeout, and there you see Floyd Little's unofficial rushing yardage in 26 carries. Videotape stop action. I know you enjoy it, so let's watch a great play by Paul Newmoff of Tennessee.
Here he is moving laterally along the line of scrimmage. He's the All-American linebacker, and this play will give you some idea why. He jumped over the blocker, looked like a hurdler, didn't even break stride. Drives in perfectly, putting his head in front of the ball carrier to make a fine tackle.
The Tennessee defense on the right, which has had its hands full all afternoon, in fact, all season, taking a breather, while the Syracuse offensive unit on the left, standing and talking things over with 2 minutes and 38 seconds left in the ball game. When play is resumed, Syracuse will have a second down and 4 at the Tennessee 47. Ole Allen comes into the game, replacing Tom Coughlin. From our camera suspended on a 200-foot crane at the right end zone, you get this shot. Remember, Monday, January 2nd, you will see the annual Tournament of Roses parade here on ABC. The enchanting young star of Bewitched, Liz Montgomery, will be joined by Vince Scully in the commentary of this event, live and in color, January 2nd, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Rick Casada. Larry Zonka gets the first down and deeper into Tennessee territory. 2 minutes, 26 seconds left in the ball game.
A fine check signal that time by Casada. Tennessee line was overshifted to the top of your screen. He check signals and came back to the narrow side of the field.
Tom Coughlin back in as the wingback to the far side. 1st and 10 from the Tennessee 36. Another fine run by Larry Zonka.
Tennessee is almost able to ignore the passing threat of Syracuse, but the power of the Orange running attack moves the ball without the pass fake.
And Zonka adds 9 more yards to his total. There you see the time remaining in the 22nd annual Gator Bowl from Jacksonville, Florida. Don't forget, a week from today on ABC's Wide World of Sports, it'll be the Hula Bowl. There is Allen reporting back to the Syracuse offensive unit, replacing Coughlin. And here we go. With a second down and 1, Syracuse has the ball at the 27 of Tennessee. Trying for the first down was Floyd Little. It appears that he has it with a little to spare. Archibald and Williams in on the tackle. It is a first down for Syracuse, and now they have a total of 16. Tennessee has 13. And incidentally, With Little gaining over 200 yards on the ground, Larry Zonka has 114 on the ground for Syracuse today. What a pair. 1-2, and here's Little. And Little is down at about the 18. Hit hard by Dave Murphy and Doug Archibald, number 55. With 1 minute and 19 seconds to go, we have a marker on the field, and there is a timeout here at the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida. The score, Tennessee 18, Syracuse 6. Floyd Little, look out! Floyd Little, as the down was replayed following 2 personal foul penalties, one against each team. And now, with the clock running less than a minute, Syracuse lines up quickly. They have the ball at about the 5-yard line with a 1st and goal to go, and they are trailing 18-6 at this point.
Little was back to pass on the throw. When he saw that the receivers were covered, he reversed his field, turned on that amazing speed, cutting back across the field to put Syracuse in scoring position. Great view of the defense on the part of Little, who read it as well as he did, and great reflexes to cut back without wasting any steps.
And unofficially, our statistician, Bert Schultz, tells us that Little has 228 yards on the ground today. What a way to cap a college career. He'd much rather see the scoreboard a little different, though, because Tennessee is in the lead, 18-6, with 56 seconds remaining, and Syracuse has a 1st and goal at the Tennessee 5, and here is a test for the Tennessee defense again. Zonka and Little behind Casada. Paul Newmoff right around Larry Zonka.
Well, he chilled him, Chris.
Wow. There you see Newmoff, number 50, and number 39, Larry Zonka, who has been a battering ram today, has gained over 100 yards on the ground. He'll be back next year for Coach Ben Schwartzwalder. We have a personal foul face mask violation against Tennessee, half the distance to the goal line. There is the signal. In slow motion, let's watch Newmoff.
He reads the blockers, moves into position. Laterally, he has an open shot here, and he really unloaded. Driving Zonka back.
From the 3, Floyd Little, touchdown. Gary Bugenhagen blocking for Floyd Little. 16 touchdowns, 1966. Little coming from the 3-yard line with 46 seconds left in the ball game. And it is now Tennessee 18, Syracuse 12.
Syracuse has certainly dominated this half. They've had the ball approximately 19 minutes thus far in the half, and they've run more than twice as many plays as Tennessee.
Alex Gusev trying to point after. It's a high pass, so Casada fakes it, trying for 2, and it fails. And guess who was there? 50, Paul Newmoff, the All-American. He's everywhere. So with 46 seconds remaining in the 22nd Gator Bowl, it is Tennessee 18 and Syracuse 12 as Floyd Little capped an 80-yard march.
We're almost sure to get an onside kick here by Syracuse. You can see that there's Newmoff on this play, moving to the outside. He's got great speed for a big man. In on the tackle, next to the sideline when he started from the middle of the formation. The Tennessee front 5 here, lined up to receive the kickoff, are looking for the onside kick, and the ends and 2 backs are up also within about 20 yards of the ball. Everyone looking for the onside kick, just one man back deep.
That is Richmond Flowers, the speedster, the sophomore track star of Tennessee. And Dick Murphy will kick the ball. No, he didn't. It was Kayaski that crossed them up trying for an onside kick. And it went at least 10 yards, indeed. But it was Tennessee that alertly grabbed the ball. Richard Pickens, the offensive fullback for Tennessee, covered it. And now Tennessee, with 43 seconds left in the ball game, have it 1st and 10 at their own 40.
I know that many people would like to see them try to score, Chris, but you're playing the game to win, and I don't believe that we'll see the ball in the air.
Mills to the near side along with Flowers. Dewey Warren, the quarterback, holding on to that ball, gaining perhaps a yard. Clock is running, coming up to the 20-second mark. We'd like to thank our regular spotter, Bill Friel, for a wonderful season, again, for the 10th season in a row. Our thanks also to the help here in the booth, Larry Myers, Bert Schultz, Mort Zimmerman, and Lynn Berman. And to them and to all of you, of course, we wish you a very happy New Year. And Bud, with one more game to go in Honolulu, I'd like to say what a pleasure it's been having you as a sidekick.
Oh, Chris, very mutual thought. I'm very impressed with the comeback Syracuse has made this half. When you're behind 18-0 against a team that has the versatility of Tennessee, it's sometimes easy to sort of relax, but they've really carried it to them for the full 30 minutes.
Following the game, we'll have interviews with several of the key players in this Gator Bowl battle as Dewey Warren tries to run out that clock on a 2nd and 9. It's about a 3rd and 7 now, and there is the time, and the happy folks in Jacksonville count it down. And Tennessee wins the ball game despite a great effort by number 44, Floyd Little, and his teammates of Syracuse, coming up with an 18-12 victory. There is Floyd Little going to the dressing room on the far side, shaking the hand of a Tennessee battler, and there you see the friendliness now that reappears following the game itself, the contest.
They always say that the major purpose in competition is to earn the respect of your opponent, and certainly both of these teams have accomplished that today.
That's right. It was the first time that these two teams had ever met on the football field as Doug Dickey climaxes his 3rd year at Tennessee happily on the shoulders of a couple of players, including Ron Whitby, number 11. Once again, the final score, Tennessee 18, Syracuse 12. We'd like to thank Coach Ben Schwartzwalder, his staff, Larry Kimball, the Sports Information Director at Syracuse University, and also our expression of gratitude to Coach Doug Dickey, his staff, Haywood Harris, the Sports Information Director at the University of Tennessee, for all of their help. The executive producer of the Gator Bowl was Roone Arledge. The Gator Bowl game was produced by Chuck Howard and directed by Andy Sedaris. Our associate director was Louis Frederick. Technical director Vern Hendrickson. Well, since this game marks the conclusion of our regular and postseason NCAA college football series, we'd like to thank some of the people who have made outstanding contributions to these color telecasts. The associate producer of NCAA football, Jim Feeney. Our assistants to the producer, Joe Assetti and Roger Goodman. And our unit manager, James Hay. We'd like to mention some of the technical personnel who have worked so hard on these NCAA color telecasts. Obviously, time would not permit us to mention all of their names, but the following are some of the men who have done an extraordinary job. Technical directors, John Broderick, Tom Sumner, Bill Morris. Engineering supervisors, Bob Gabrielson, Roy Robbins, Bill Stone. Audio, Jack Hughes, Bill Tegg. Cameraman, Andy Armentani. Sal Felino, Arch Griffin, Dick Kerr, Don Langford, John Morelli, Mike Rebich, Joe Sapienza, and Gene Wood. They are the best. Videotape, George Birdnell, Charles Burnham, Lou Rendy, and Merritt Rosser. Video, Dick Campo, Joe Herbst, and Bob Greenseth. Lighting directors, Tony Azzolino and Irv Waring. Graphic arts, Hi Bly. And remember, today on ABC's Wide World of Sports, you'll see the international figure skating from Lake Placid, New York, the Nassau Trophy Race from Nassau in the Bahamas, a preview of our NBA basketball season, which starts tomorrow live and in color from Los Angeles, and the recent explosive interview Howard Cosell had with Cassius Clay and Ernie Terrell. And now this is Chris Schenkel, along with Bud Wilkinson and Bill Fleming, saying so long from Jacksonville, Florida. We wish to thank the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company for the use of the blimp. Nationwide, worldwide, air transportation arranged and promotional consideration furnished by TWA Trans World Airlines, who fly the Starstream jets.
The Gator Bowl has been brought to you by Vitalis. Vitalis with V7. Vitalis keeps your hair neat all day without grease. Prevents dryness, too. By United Delco, who feature the Energizer wherever you see the United Delco service sign. By new Chesterfield filter cigarettes. Somebody had to put true taste in a filter cigarette, and Chesterfield did it.
And from the Goodyear blimp, you see the fans filing out of the Gator Bowl here today, where Tennessee was victorious over Syracuse 18-12, and we'd like to thank the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company for the use of the blimp and all those beautiful aerial shots we've been able to give you during the sports year of 1966, and specifically here at the Gator Bowl today. Three of the Warriors who played so gallantly today are here with me. First of all, I'd like to introduce to you a fellow who gained 231 yards unofficially, scored a touchdown, who climaxed a great career at Syracuse, Floyd Little. And Floyd, all we can say is you were magnificent.
Thank you.
Tough ball game for you?
Pretty good. It was about the toughest we played all year. Our defense, they fell apart early in the game, and we just couldn't catch up.
You had a wonderful second half. Did it change anything?
Well, the offense started to get together, and they started blocking a little better, and we stopped making these little mistakes. I feel if we had another quarter to go, I think it could have been a closer game.
Are you tired yourself, Floyd, after a game like this?
No, I can go another quarter, another half, I think. Yeah, I'm all right. Just need a couple minutes to catch my breath, that's all.
Well, you did a great job out there today, and I know that in your own heart, it's kind of tough to be leaving Syracuse University after so many wonderful years.
Yes, it is. Very tough. I wish I had another year to go.
Well, the best of luck to you in your future endeavors.
Thank you very much.
You've given us a lot of thrills here at ABC.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Floyd Little, great back of Syracuse University, congratulating Dewey Warren and also Paul Newmoff, who are a member of the victorious squad today. And as you can hear right behind me is the volunteer band from the University of Tennessee celebrating this 6-point victory over Syracuse. Now let's talk to Dewey Warren, who played such a great game at quarterback today, carried his team to an 18-point lead at the end of the first half. Dewey, there was something that happened there at about the beginning of the second quarter. You really started to pick Syracuse apart. What was it?
We started picking the defense a little bit more. We kind of filled them out the first quarter a little bit. You know how you fill a team out, and we started to pick on them a little bit, and we started to run a few plays that we put in. And we picked on a few defensive halfbacks that we thought wasn't as good as the others. So the line did a terrific job blocking in the back, so defense, so that's what we did.
Have you ever seen greater catches in your life out there?
I'll tell you what, I've had that all year. That's the kind of boys that we've had on our team for 11 games now, and if it wasn't for them, we probably wouldn't be here today, really. I mean, we've had a team effort, and them boys did a fantastic job today catching.
You're going to miss Austin Denny, of course, and Mills next year, but you're going to have Richmond Flowers back.
Yes, sir. I hope so. I hope he don't go to the Olympics. I sure would like to have him back. He's a fantastic receiver. You got his speed is, you can't believe it. In a uniform, he can really fly. So losing the two boys, they were just fine this year. I can't say enough for them, really. All the receivers in the line that does a good job up there blocking never gets any credit, and they get all the credit from my brother.
I'll tell you, here's a fellow that gets some credit over here on the defense, Paul Newmoff, who really played a spectacular game today. Paul, you didn't realize this, but we had you on many times on slow motion. We could see the impact of those tackles. You really jolted a few.
Well, I guess I was just lucky. I got to hand it to the interior linemen. They did a heck of a job keeping them offensive blockers off me.
Who was the toughest guy out there? Was it Zonka or was it Little?
Well, I'd have to say they were both real tough. That fullback ran like a horse, and Floyd, we knew he could run. We knew he could run fast, but we just underestimated his speed on the outside.
You know, Paul, there was one play very late in the ball game where they were down near the goal line. You actually hurdled an intended blocker out there in front of you and got the ball carrier short of the goal line. Now, do you have that split vision? Are you aware of all those people that are gunning you down?
Well, I guess that just comes with practice. We work a lot on agilities and stuff, and our agilities are similar to situations you face in a game, and just so happens that that's one of them, having someone crack back on you like that.
Well, this has been a great year for Tennessee. You're now 8-3, and you close out the year of 1966. But for a few breaks and a few bounces of the ball, you don't know what it might have been, Dewey.
That's right, it sure was. We had a tough season all the way, and like you said, a few breaks that hurt us, but we had a team effort that never quit. We had boys that wanted to play and came to play, and that's why we're here today.
Well, Paul, best of luck to you in your future endeavors, and of course, Dewey Warren will be back next year, so we'll look forward to seeing the Vols in 67.
Thanks, sir.
Congratulations, fellas. Dewey Warren, the quarterback, Paul Newmoff, the fine linebacker of Tennessee, and earlier we talked to Floyd Little. So that's pretty much the story down here as you hear the victory strains from the Tennessee band, and things are happy in Knoxville tonight. Final score 18-12, Tennessee.